I've never been a huge watch guy. I appreciate a nice watch, but I wouldn't really ever consider wearing one for fashion. I don't really like wearing them in the first place, and I think one of the reasons a lot of people don't wear watches anymore and why I don't really feel the need for one most of the time is because you're just carrying around a phone. You always have a phone on you. You just check the time. You can just check your phone. But I wanted to get a watch that would be ultra reliable, super rugged, good for harsh environments, the outdoors, and something that was simple. Well, I was watching a movie called Speed, and Keanu Reeves was wearing the classic G-Shock DW5600 by Casio. Fun fact about the Speed movie, when he looks down at his watch initially and checks the time, it's actually set through the alarm. It's not the real time. For filmmaking's sake, it's easier to just put it on alarm, enter the time that you want it to appear as, but if you pay attention, you can see that it's not the actual time. They've set it themselves. Anyways, I decided that would be the watch to get. However, when doing further research, I found a different model, still very similar, but in my opinion was a better choice. And that is the GWM 5610. Very similar. Only difference really is instead of taking a standard battery, it's solar as well as having multi-band 6, which I'll explain in a moment. Solar was something I was really happy to look for. It just makes sense if you're outside a lot. Even if you're not outside, just the lighting in your house or office, it's enough to keep it at full charge. From what I see, Casio basically guarantees 10 months at a full charge with literally zero light. You could put it in your closet and it'll hold its charge for a long time. And I've heard of counts of even longer than 10 months for years. So as long as it gets some light, you're fine. To check the charge at the bottom right, you can see an L, M, and H. That means low, medium, and high. And you can see that little mark over the H for me. As long as I have had the watch, it has never left H. It has never left high. And I don't really wear it that much. I usually just keep it on a dresser, and a lot of the time the only light that it's receiving is from a lamp, and it still remained at full charge. And another reason I wanted solar was I have heard that when you change a battery on a normal G-Shock, it affects the waterproofing. And that probably depends on how experienced you are too. But the 5600 probably has a 7-year battery, and that's a long time. But with the solar, this will essentially last forever, or I guess until the watch falls apart. And the waterproofing is awesome on here. It makes it a great choice for anyone dealing with water. You'll see it says water resist 20 bar on the bottom left in blue, and that means 200 meters or 662 feet. It will remain waterproof. That's pretty good. Who knows, but I probably won't be going down that far. But I have taken this diving into the ocean before and other water, and it holds up fine. It was fine. You have no worries bringing this into the water. And this has all the classic Casio features. Tells you the date, tells you what day of the week it is, tells you the time. You can change through. You have world time. You can set so many different world times to keep track of. You have an alarm, your stopwatch, and a timer. Then it goes back to the main time. There's also a backlight for viewing in the dark. You can push that and you can see it kind of turns blue. Now that can be set automatically, so every time you lift the watch up, you can see it. I have turned off the automatic, but it's pretty easy. All you have to do is hold it down and you can turn the automatic feature on or off. As far as the time zones, I've actually written it down. It's 31 time zones you can set. And you can set a couple of time zones and swap between them if you have to keep track of different time zones. And to get back to the main, you can just hold down the menu button or the mode button. The multi-band 6 is an awesome feature and something that really drew me to the watch as well. It's basically time adjustment, where a normal watch might have to be reset every so often, being a few seconds off. It might vary between watches. This watch will attempt to receive a signal from a transmitting tower. I believe there are 6 of them, and it will keep your watch accurate within fractions of a second. With the watch, when I check, I receive the signal every single night. Some parts of the world you might not receive the signal, or you might not receive it too often. But for me, I am always receiving the signal, and you can actually check when the last time you received the signal was. So if you press this little button down here, you'll see it'll say get, and it'll tell you the date. So midnight, 12:03 this morning, I actually got the signal, and every night at around midnight it will set the time. Obviously this will keep track of daylight savings time as well. It's like the same thing that your phone does. It's automatic timekeeping. It's great. As well, at the very top of the watch too, you can see it says received up there, and that will let you know that you have received the signal. It's an awesome feature. It's just another thing that you don't have to worry about. It's automated. For these extra features, you will have to pay extra. While the 5600 is only around $50, with this one you'll expect to pay about $100. And does solar and multi-band 6 justify the price? Well, for me, it did. And as far as the watch band goes, you probably noticed that this does not look like your standard Casio band. Well, the Casio comes with a standard resin band, which is fine, you know, it's fine, but I started looking into NATO straps, which is what this is, and I was drawn to them. There's some things about the NATO straps that made me want to get one. You know, you don't have to get one, but if you do, you need to get adapters for them. So these adapters are made by J's and K's, and you have to take the pins out of the normal resin band and swap those in. So it's not, you know, the easiest thing to do, but it's not too bad. I will say the spring bars that came with the J's and K's did not click in right, so I had to use the original, and the original spring bars are much more robust anyway, so I just used the original. But anyway, got the NATO strap on there. A lot of adjustments you can do with that. Covers up the watch face, and if one of the bars fails, it will stay on. Your watch will stay on the other bar. If you don't like the standard resin strap that the G-Shock comes with, I would look into the NATO straps. You can get all different colors of them. They're very customizable, or you can even make your own. But anyways, with all those features of the 5610, mainly solar and the waterproofing, that's why I went with this specific model. It's extremely rugged. It's very reliable. It's super simple. Tells you a lot of information, gives you capability. If you want a G-Shock, they have tons of different models. So start doing some research into what you want. But for a simple watch, the square bodies are hard to beat. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed or you found it helpful, leave a like and subscribe for future content. Thanks for watching.